One person's defeat is another's victory. Labor groups representing city workers are one giant step closer to removing the pension reform initiative from the June ballot. Joining me for the other side of the pension reform story is Michael Zucchet, General Manager of the San Diego Municipal Employees Association, the largest union representing city employees. Michael Zucchet, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Why does your union not want this initiative on the June ballot?
Well, we filed the complaint because the city violated the law in the way they put it on the ballot, would be the short answer to that question. We oppose the initiative on other grounds and find it to be something that's going to be bad for San Diego, both financially and in terms of alleged pension reform. But in terms of this June ballot issue, it goes to the fact that the city screwed up in the way they put it on the ballot, and the rule of law matters, or at least it should matter, and that's what we're seeing with the enforcement agency coming down on it this week.
Now, Carl DeMaio was here earlier in the show, and what he said was the pension reform measure that Mayor Jerry Sanders was promoting in 2010, 2011, sort of the promoting that the actual report refers to, the state board report, is not the same measure that is going to the voters.
Well, that's fascinating. Of all the things that's come out of his mouth, in January of 2011, Mayor Sanders, standing behind a city lectern with a city seal at the State of the City address, announced, quote, "The city attorney and I, Mayor Sanders, are going to put on the ballot an initiative to eliminate pensions, go to 401ks, et cetera, which is what we have today." So if Mr. DeMaio wants to split hairs about the details as to what the final initiative was, that's fine. But to me, that's almost an admission that if that's true, that is, if this is the initiative we're here today, that would be a problem with respect to state law. And the record is very clear on that. This is not a citizens' initiative. This was initiated by public officials at the city of San Diego, namely the mayor. And when that happens, you run across state law, which matters.
Now, the initiative did, though, get a record number of signatures. More than 100,000 people in San Diego, voters, signed this. Mm-hmm. Isn't there something to be said in terms of the people's initiative? The people want this on the ballot.
Absolutely. Voters or people who might sign the petition were told that it would save billions of dollars. If I was told that and I believed it, I'd probably sign it too. That's not true, and that'll be clear when the independent budget analyst of the city of San Diego does her analysis in the next few weeks. We're in an environment where people like Carl DeMaio go around stirring up people about people's anger about pensions in San Diego, giving misinformation. So I think there's a lot of reasons there were a lot of signatures on that ballot. But I would also say there was a lot of signatures on the referendum a couple years ago to make San Diego a strong mayor form of government and to give Mayor Jerry Sanders a lot of power, including the power as the sole chief labor negotiator with the employees. And so when the mayor acts as he has violated the law with respect to the power given to him by the voters. So if the voters are upset about this and there's going to be this backlash that Carl is threatening everybody, they need to look in the mirror as to how they've conducted themselves over the last year, not how the unions have conducted themselves.
Now, I know that the union did reach out to the city and say, look, we want to meet and talk about this whole meet and confer. That's really what this is about. And the city said no. Right now, would you be willing to go to the table with the city and negotiate and bypass the initiative process and say, okay, we will sit down and talk about pension reform?
Of course. We will in the future, and we'd love to on this. This is our specific request. Admit that it's really a city initiative, not a sham citizens initiative. And sit down and talk about it and go through the proper procedure. You know, we've done that for the last several years. It was ironic that the mayor on Monday, when this PERB action was announced, was in Washington, D.C. talking about what? The fact that the city of San Diego has turned itself around. And
at the National Press
Club,
yeah.
Exactly. Touting all of the agreements that have been made with city employees to save billions of dollars through pay freezes, the elimination of the retiree health benefit as it was, compensation reductions, a new retirement system for new hires. So those are the types of things that we've always been willing to do. Just ask Mayor Jerry Sanders how that's gone. He was in Washington touting it himself. And so to turn then to a political route, as they've done with this ballot initiative, which is sort of the Full Employment Act for people running for mayor, as opposed to an opportunity to actually do some real pension reform, it's something we're going to oppose.
Just quickly before we go, wouldn't they have known this? This sort of decision seems very clear, and they spell out several examples of the mayor and other city officials sort of touting this initiative. Wouldn't they have known this?
They being
the city attorney, the mayor, saying that perhaps they're violating a labor law.
Well, I don't want to be as sanctimonious as sometimes Jan Goldsmith is about what's going to happen in court, but I would say that the record is pretty clear about the conduct here, and the record is pretty clear that when one city official, especially the strong mayor of a city, takes these actions, the whole city is held responsible. We put them on notice beginning in June, more than 8 months ago, with letter after letter making it very clear, and they rejected it. And so that was a gamble, and now we're going to see what happens.
Okay, Michael Zucchet, we'll have to have you back next week after we know more about the decision.
Thanks very much.